else can see it.
Okay, perfect. So, two parts to today's theme. Just wanted to give like a quick overview of what Sonic is, and then dive directly into like Web3 games and gaming distributions and community building. So, on a very high level, Sonic itself is a gaming ecosystem power sovereign game economies for Solana. Our goal is to push gaming to the speed of light, just like so does the background of the team. We came from ByteDance, Y Combinator, Electronic Arts, NetEase in the last couple years. And one of the earlier kind of projects that we did was help Web3 games launch and go to market. In 2022 to 23, we were building Solana infra for a lot of these gaming assets, their contracts, the marketplaces, the wallets, as well as like on and off ramp DEX aggregation. So it took us a couple years to get familiarized and really dive deeper into Sol. But second half of 2023 now, we're building Sonic SVM, which is one of the first SVMs that's launching on Solana, and also the gaming ecosystem. And like I said, we previously closed a 12 million Series A funding from some of these guys: Bigcraft, Galaxy, Big Brain, OKX, Bybit, and some of the founders that you might be familiar with within Solana. And the foundation, a lot of the individuals from the foundation also invested into us. But Sonic itself basically builds towards three narratives. The first, Web3 TikTok app layer. The second is the leading gaming ecosystem in Solana. And then the third is the first SVM to launch on top of mainnet. But just to dive a little bit deeper into distribution. So we do a couple of things. And I think this is probably one of the more interesting ones that we brainstormed recently. So Sonic has an application called Sonic X, which is basically click to earn plus a gaming discovery page. So within Sonic X, there are multiple games that we help publish, and we grow them across different geographic regions, different languages, but utilizing, basically different types of KOLs as well. So we create meme contents so that this app is pushed. And what that brought us was around 1.4 million verified users and 10 million impressions in the last month or so. As you can see, this chart, this is a little delayed, but it was growing quite rapidly over the last month. And we also talked about kind of like leading Solana in terms of like gaming. I think one of the biggest problems in terms of gaming was actually the fact that there's not enough liquidity just for games. There are a lot of attention grabbing assets on top of Solana. So people trade meme coins, people trade NFTs, and you as a developer oftentimes have to compete with those sectors when it comes to gathering attention and gathering liquidity for your application. So the way that we solve that is we work with some of the largest, DeFi protocols. So this is Solare, the restaking platform. We have 85 million of Solana delegated to Sonic with almost 80,000 addresses. I think this is a little higher now. But these guys basically delegate their Solana to Sonic, and then we can utilize that TVL just for games and grow the gaming ecosystem on top of us. And there are three key features that we have here. The first is atomic interoperability, where SOL is still used for gas, where liquidity stays on mainnet, gaming logic on Sonic. The second is we have a framework called Rush that allows for really easy development without you having to understand that much about accounts, initialization of PDAs, just getting all of that out of the way. And then the third is that we basically utilize TikTok and then what we call AdFi on Sonic to grow your monetization and help you distribute your games. So far, there's around 10 games deployed on top of Sonic. And some of the wallet counts that we've seen here, around 2.7 million in total, around 2.2 that are eligible for rewards. And some of the games that you might be familiar with, the likes of Low Life, Jogo Jogo, Zbits, many hackathon winners as well. So that's the first part. And then I just wanted to kind of dive in a little bit deeper into the distribution side of things, obviously like the main topic here. We gave a talk on TikTok as a growth tactic to onboard the next million on chain during Consumer Day for Solana. And why this is interesting for us is because we think that like it's actually pretty easy to tap into this traffic pool where not a lot of people are utilizing. So we do four things. The first is what we talked about. We use mimetic content that are highly localized. So every geographic region is really different. So we do a lot of localization. The second is that we have multi-account advertisement to test CPA and CPC, meaning that what that means is like we have to open up a bunch of Sonic X accounts and then test each individual one of them with different CPA and CPCs, kind of similar to how you would grow a game. But if you look at these numbers and the costs, they are relatively low compared to what you might imagine. And then the third is like we built out an abstraction SDK that allows for utilizing TikTok to log in. We built this ourselves because we did this during the bear market, but you can actually utilize the likes of Privy, particle network, such and so forth, to just allow your users to log in with TikTok. And here are some of the leaders on the leaderboard. And this is basically a wallet that is self-custodial by users. So in terms of the opportunities and challenges, we think that this is one of the largest, basically potential where you can use a easy tap to earn game to attract users and give them assets, and then lead to a set of different features and game list, and then the users basically receive more and more rewards. And I think this is important to mention because after 3 years within the gaming ecosystem, we realized like ultimately we are building applications for a couple different types of users. The first type is traders who are trading assets, and they like ultimately it is a financial game for a lot of them. And the way that they trade is they find arbitrage opportunities, they find price actions, they look at charts, which is why if you look at like the NFT ecosystem, games, for example, Lumiterra recently, really good asset launches directly embedded into the game. So we always ask our community, what is the way that you want to build that product is going to earn money, and then we go backwards from that. If it's just a token launch, there are also DEXs to launch it or centralized exchanges to launch it, and those are very different approaches and very different product designs, I would say as well. Yeah, so that's on the TikTok side as well as like just a pretty brief overview in terms of like what we did to grow on TikTok. So here are some of the things that we do in terms of our community building and our narrative building. Let me share with you guys our official handle. So the majority of our growth itself is going to happen on top of TikTok, on top of Twitter because of the wide reach of information. And as you can see, the tagline itself we think needs to be very simple, right? So there are two things that we push for at the current moment in time. People already understand that we're a gaming chain, but we want to be the first SVM to launch on top of mainnet for games and applications. And then we're powering the Web3 TikTok app layer, onboarding next billion users. So those are the two narratives that we push for. And when we think about this industry, what you realize is that the people that we serve and the users that we serve are ultimately also holders or traders. So they look at your comps. The way that we think about our comps is based on the three narratives that we just talked about, right? So the first is a distribution platform coin. And if you look at the comps, that's Ton and that's Kaya, which have different kind of FTVs here. I think this has gone up like 50 or 60% already. And then the second is the first SVM to launch on Solana and scaling solution. Then you have, Optimism or Arbitrum as your rivals. And then if you want to compete as the leading gaming chain on Solana, you have these two products as your rivals. So we really kind of rally our community with the vision in mind that we're trying to beat Ton, we're trying to beat Optimism and Arbitrum, and we're trying to beat Immutable X and Ronin. Whether you play games here or you trade scaling coins here, or you're looking at Tong ecosystem for mini apps, you get a sense of how big that opportunity is, and you have to inspire your community that way. Now, every single content that we do is to serve those narratives. The first, obviously, pinned as a TikTok app layer. Our strategic advertisement posts are also for that. The games that we launch are launched directly within Sonic X, which is the TikTok app. And
Of
this is just
Solana
names,
delegated
but,
to
as
Sonic
you can
with
see, we
almost
basically
80,000.
use our
The first is
socials
what we
to
talked
serve
about.
all of
Network
these
users trade as they find
all of these
arbiter into
narratives.
Sol.
So,
But second half of
I just wanted to
2023 now,
pause a
we're
little bit
building
there,
Sonic
and
SVM, which is one of the
just
first
take a
FVMs
breather
that's
in
launching
terms
on
of the
Solana,
information I
and
just shared.
also
I know it's a lot,
the
but
gaming ecosystem.
I do wonder if there's any questions from the crowd that you guys might be interested in, so I don't just keep on rambling. If not, yeah, I'm not sure if Jason, you wanna take it forward. I did want to just focus on some of the main strategies that we've used, and if there's any specific questions, I'm more than happy to answer after the fact as well.
Thank you, Chris, for your presentation. And if anyone has any question, feel free to drop it in the chat here. But Jason, welcome on, and maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys. Thanks, Chris, for the really insightful talk about user acquisition. Yeah, so my name is Jason. I've been in the space since 2017, but I only got in the Solana community in 2023 thanks to Superteam. Yeah, so met a lot of cool friends here, and also I started to hold the first set of Solana assets in my wallet, which is MATLAS, and then my Solana journey just started from there. So in the community side, I'm building a kind of a NFT community. We are located in Vietnam named Som NFT, which basically means an NFT village. So we basically talk about NFT in our community, and also collecting NFT, and also do the deep dive research on NFT. And on the on the building side, before building the first project ever on Solana, which is we are doing right now, named AI Cook, we built some kind of a social game named Expert. So we basically just let users to play the Tamagotchi game, which is a game that you play in your childhood time, right on the X interface. And then we were one of the pioneering game building on top of a social platform even before Telegram mini apps was a thing this year. So yeah, I think it is pretty much it. So let me just share the screen, and then I can get the ball rolling with the presentation. You guys can still not see my screen, right?
Oh, I don't. I can't see anything.
Okay.
Okay, I think
Okay, now?
it's loading now.
Okay, cool.
Yes, can see it now. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the key to build a successful crypto community. And then just kind of the small disclaimer about that. Like I guess it is not, I think community is actually the really important part of not just the crypto world, but also the real life world. And like we are in in at least one community, or we're in crypto or not. So I guess everyone has all have the experience of at least how to be on the community, and for some project builders, maybe how to build a community. So there'll be like many takes on how to build a good successful community, especially in crypto, right? So I really open to have all of your, let's say, discussion after this presentation, but it's just my view on how to how some takeaway to build a crypto community. So, and I also call it how to build a cult, because I think that building a cult is actually the highest level of building a crypto community. And then and then it is also something that all project builders should think about if they want their project to be, to be lasting and to be sustainable in the real long time. And we have seen a really specific example of Solana. So we're here not just a community of project builders on the chain, but we are now even the Solana maximalist. We think that Solana will be right now one of the most important part of crypto app. It will be like that in the next like 10 or 5 or 10 years. That's a bit about myself. So I am the founder of some NFT. So we build the NFT code for a community of NFT people. On the building side, I'm building Expert, which is a social game that I mentioned. So we also need to deal with the problem of how to build the community for the Expert users, and also how to build a code for the Expert users so that we can have the loyalty and we can have many users using our product. So and then right now we're building AI Cook, which is the AI agent. So it is live right now on X, and you can actually just head to the X account and try to be smart and reply to other tweets from AI agent to get some free token, either the Soul token or the Cook token, which we will launch in this month. So yeah, it's a bit of the what we've been collecting in our NFT community. So our community focusing on NFT. So the way we build out our community is via NFT content and via collecting NFT out there, and also try to build a call of NFT related call of in the community of people who love NFT and who believe in NFT as the really cool class of assets in crypto. So if you are building community, so I guess I'll just bring to light the approach of 5 Ws. So what, who, why, where, how, and when. So there can there can be many questions in this list related to the 5 W. So, but I just list out some here. What is the community? Who are the community members? Who are the leaders of the community? Why do the members gather together in the community for? What do they gather for? Where do the community members hang? Whether it will be the Discord group, just like Superteam here, or maybe some kind of a Facebook Messenger group chat, or like some kind of, let's say, or let's say about Ethereum, right, which is one of the OG projects. So the community is actually showed in a kind of a Discord side, which is some kind of the forum side that you might find them like many years ago. It's a really OG way of building out the community and also allowing people to write the content there. And then how the community members gather and hang, and where should the community be created. So I actually so in the process of building this presentation and prepare for this presentation, I kind of surfing the internet and try to have the the clear definition of community, kind of the back to basic approach, right? So I saw 2 definitions here from Google and from Cambridge Dictionary. So you can actually see 2 mutual words here. So it is common or mutual as an adjective, and these are also interests, attitudes, or goals as in nouns. So it is really clear that the communities is some kind of, you can see the community, let's say in the Discord group, on X, or in some Facebook, but you will see the all kind of the mutual things there. So all of the guys, all of the members in the community always have the mutual things to share, or have the mutual things to worship, like all the mutual things to talk about. It is a key of the key of a community. So if you take the common word and the interest, achieve, and goals word, into the at the definition of community. So we will see community in many forms. So don't think platform, but think of where and how folks show the common things. So um everywhere you find folks are showing their love, showing their interest towards the mutual things, you actually find the communities there. So I actually brought out some kind of example here. So in the right here, this is the grass community. So grass is kind of a DPing project. They have just launched on Solana a month ago. They're now one of the one of the most well-known DPing project on Solana right now. So you can see the Discord group here. So they have a Discord group. It represents the grass community. So in this Discord group, there can be many topics that people can join and also make the content there. Let's say they can ask about, like, they can use a product, and then they will kind of struggle at some point, and then they will just ask the customer support to solve their problem. But there could be some kind of users who are holding the grass token, so they just want to be in the Discord group to just get the most up-to-date things about the community, the project, so that they will know that they should keep holding, or they will sell the token. And there'll be also some kind of people who are they haven't been a grass users or grass token holders, like they are just still sidelining in the grass community, haven't held token, haven't involved, but they have the interest to join, so they can also join the community, so that they will be wait, so that okay, so that they will be converted in some point. So you can see one of the role of the community here. So if you build a project, right, but then you place a community, so the community will be not just a hub for your already users to hang out, but also for some sideliners who are interested in joining the project. And they can be converted at some point if they are in your community and they feel the culture, they feel the code there, or they love what the project shares in the community, and they just readily align with the vision of the project. But there's also an example here. So it's not the Discord, but it's actually X, the Twitter. So you guys know about the project name Hyperliquid. So it is some kind of the performance layer one, kind of the app chain project. They have the performance layer one, and they also build some kind of pop decks on top of that, named Hyperliquid as well, the same name. And then they have done, one of the most wealthiest airdrop in the history of crypto just a few days ago. So the total airdrop value is just like $1 billion worth of value in hype token. So if you head to the X side and then just search for some keyword like hype, in the hash, in the with the dollar map, right? In the just search for the token, or you can search for the keyword going like the hyper liquid. You will see actually the huge code there, and they are so the one tweeting about hyperliquid or hype, they could be the hyperliquid users just like myself. So really, really immersing in the Hyperliquid community and been farming for a while and then earn some airdrop. So I am a loyal one. But you can also see some new community members who are curious about, hey, this project has something really cool. And then I just want to tweet about it. And then I want to be a part of a community because I see the really strong code there, the really strong culture there. So how about we just, talk about hype or just learn about the Hyperliquid project and tweet something on the X. So so from the Hyperliquid example here, you can actually see that it really doesn't matter if you build a community on the kind of the closed platform like Discord, but you can actually also build it on, let's say, on Twitter, so that you can you can have the new community members to find it easy to join in the community. Yeah. And then I just take the broader view here. So anyone is a Blackpink fan. So I guess if you're talking about the real life community and talking about the music industry specifically, maybe Blackpink fans community is one of the strongest, right? And I'm not sure if they have a Discord group or some kind of the social platform dedicating purely for the music group. But if they have, I guess they'll be one of the most active Discord group, or they'll be will be kind of the, so Blackpink will might be one of the keywords that being mentioned the most on a social platform. And then let's take an even broader view. This is the this is a picture of the inauguration speech back in the I guess 2017 of the Trump won the first election. So the community can can just go beyond just a community of users of a product, but also someone who share the mutual thing. And in this example, they're sharing the same nationality. Yeah. So I've been beating around the bush too much. So now just go to the takeaway, right? So I have just only 3 takeaways here, and then I guess they are they are kind of the common takeaway that maybe after I show all of them, you can actually see that, hey, it is actually quite familiar. I all know them. But here I just want to highlight, 3 takeaways so that, when you want to build a community, maybe think of 3 takeaways. They can help you. They can actually direct direct you in the way to build community more effectively. So the first thing is to having the mutual things for the community members have the reason to gather, right? So if you just build if you are if you're a project and you have a product and you have a community, just create a group chat so that your users can actually claim about the problem that they're running into, or just just place a group chat so that users can where to ask a customer support. It will just purely just like the customer support community. But for the crypto projects, maybe you want to build you know um, group chat that allow users to share more common interests. Let's say interest to get the update from the projects, interest to know more about projects, interest in the specific crypto topics, or even interest in speculating in the token. So I just bring out 2 examples here. So this is my own community. So if you can read Vietnamese, you could understand all of that, right? So it a little bit a little bit speculative, but it is the way we build out the community. So we use the speculative mutual interest so that users can have the reason to gather here. And this is the screenshot of our call right now. So which is this is a super team community. So why we are gathering here? Because we are Solana builders and we are gathering a community of Solana builders, which is super team. So we are learning from each other, right? So we join some kind of discussion call like that. Yeah. So the second takeaway, I think it is really important. The first takeaway is kind of obvious, but the second takeaway is that so the community is built up via the content. So self-generated content is normally come from the projects themselves, right? Let's say you throw out some announcement for the next step of the projects, some kind of the next roadmap, just basically. So in this case, the community is just like the bulletin board where you place all of the newest stuff in your projects to your users or your committee members to read them through, right? So self-generated content is purely for maintaining the community. But if you want to build a core, if you want to see your community to be spread out, you want to see your branding to be spread out, you must have user generated content. So you should open the channels for users to share about your projects or to share about everything they think about the projects, even in, let's say, Discord group or like in on X platform or on some social platform like TikTok or like Facebook or like yeah. So it is really important. Like imagine that imagine that a project create a Telegram channel or like a Discord group, and there's only self-generated content from the project there. It's actually the I say that it uh acquire that community. But if you see users just keep chatting about your project, just asking question, and then they chatting with each other and they answer the question of each other, and then they even share about the project on their own X page, and then they read and then they let's say they retweet the announcement from your projects. It shows that you are building the project in the community in the right way because you're having the user generated content, the UGC. So one of the example I guess I want to bring out here is a MATLAB community. So MATLAB community, just a little bit about the history of the MATLAB team, right? So the MATLAB team, the Backpack wallet and the Backpack exchange team are the same one. So they have the Discord group dedicating to the Backpack exchange, the wallet, and the MATLAB NFT holders. And so in this Discord group, they're only just a sub channel for MATLAB holders, but it is always the most active channel. And if you, let's say, head to X and then you search for a keyword, last on top, you will see, there's a plethora of user-generated content talking about MATLAB and talking about the MATLAB and MATLAB culture there. This is, I guess, the perfect example of a Solana-based project on having users to constantly and actively building their own user-generated content. So the question is how to get users to build the UGC, right? So I guess right. So in some first phase, let's say if the project has just only created for like a few days, that'll be a little bit hard. Actually, that'll be a little bit hard. But I'll just open the channel for your users to share about your project. This is user generated content. Let's say you open some kind of competition asking users to share about what are they thinking about the project, and then some kind of reward, just like some free, let's say, wallet or token, or just the really, let's say, just some kind of privilege that you will just give out to the to your users, or at least, or like maybe you should have a team of guys on, let's say, on X or on Discord, right? They will be technically not be members of a project, but they will play the role of the community members. Their job is that they will try to create the user-generated content there. They will try to write about the projects from their own page. This is where you will see the first wave of user-generated content to be created, right? And as you have the mutual thing for your community members to gather in your community, and then you let your users to build their own user generated content. I guess you are in the right way of doing your own community, but they're actually a much higher level, and if you can do it, I guess you are winning in the game of building the community or building your own projects. It is building a cult. So a cult is actually the next level of building community, right? How to define the cult? A community is just like a group of users sharing the mutual interest, the common interest, and they just read the content passively, but they also write the content. They generate generated content actively. But of course, just like they're not just the community members, not just write about the projects, they not just make the content, but they believe in the projects, they believe in the vision of the projects, they believe in the vision of the leader of the project, like so strongly, so so wholeheartedly. So the best communities are the one with the call. It's always go like that. So if you ask me what the best community right now, what the best and the most lasting, the most sustainable right now, I would call out Bitcoin, right? Or the Ethereum, or the Solana right now. We're on the right way to build one of the strongest community. So the community members in these communities, they I guess they have the mutual things to talk about. Let's say for Bitcoin, they talk about Bitcoin, right? They have about their holding position and all that. They generated their own content. Yes, you can see a bunch of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana content. But why are they keeping doing it for like such a real long time? Let's say for Bitcoin, it's been more than 10 years. For Ethereum, it's roughly 10 years right now. In Solana, it's been 5 years, because they believe in the vision of the project, because they believe in what the project is heading to, because they are the part of the cult. What they are doing on a daily basis is that they keep generating content to spread out the cult. So the question right now is how to build a cult. So I guess the core right now, and in 2024 playbook, the core right now is to create a cult leader. You can kind of replicate the Bitcoin use case, right? Like you just the random dude on a Bitcoin top forum like Satoshi Nakamoto writing about just a random thing, but then folks started to notice this stuff, and then strongly believe in that. You can also replicate that, but I think it is really hard right now. So the best formula to build a cult for your community is to have the cult leader. So if you're a project CEO or project founder, turn yourself become a cult leader. It's the highest level of building a community. So yeah, totally is our cult leader, right? And the sick and then the size of the one can become the cult leader is that he or she is the one making the most content about the project, about the community, about the vision, right? And the community members, what they do on a daily basis, on every morning, is open the X page of the cult leader and to read through everything about the project, read through everything that the cult leader writing about the project. So if you're a project builder and you want to build a code for a project, so you should be the first one to take the move to write more content, build your own X profile, your own social profile. Keep pushing content about your project, show your vision, show what the project heading into, show your belief. I think it is the 2024 formula. And the community with the core leader can build the culture easily. Example is, for sure, Solana. And the bigger the cult is, the more lasting, sustainable, and believing the community is. And Bitcoin, I guess, is the strongest example of that. So we have the community, we have the core that has been lasting for more than a decade and counting. Yeah, I guess it is pretty much it. So if you guys have any question, please fire away.
Thank you, Jason. That was very, very insightful. Actually, I think maybe I can ask some questions as well. So I guess just for a lot of builders here starting their project from scratch, right? Um, where do you find like quality members, and how do you, I guess like what's the first step of just promoting your project and like you know getting the first users?
Right. Right. I guess there could be many ways, right? But I would, you know, uh, you know, separate them into two ways. So the first thing is the first thing is to build out to have the first organic users. So I guess it's all about the distribution. Let's say for our case, say at expert, right? So having the first 100 users back in the time is just really hot. So the way we did is that we just just we just did just like any projects have been doing. So we basically have a giveaway, and then we prepare some kind of budget for users to doing the giveaway, like 2 grants, and along with the time when people uh, did the quest, we also have them to learn about the projects. So this is where we actually had a explosion of users being acquired there. So I say that the acquisition journey would be just like it will be harder first, and maybe you will need to do some kind of giveaway, or if you have been building some your your network of KOL or your network of project builders or network with your foundation, right? Maybe you need to do some kind of dirty job, like just be the salesman, just try to meet these guys at some physical event, or just joining some kind of discussion like that, and you would be the salesman believing in the project and sharing about your own vision, your own project, your project vision. And then after that, say if you build the right way, if you're building the right thing, right? Uh, like user will start to find you, and they will become your loyal community members or project users, easily. So I guess maybe doing the dirty job first, and then prepare like do some kind of campaign targeting to the end users, and then from that you will have some kind of the first wave of users. They could be organic or non-organic, but try to convert them into the next step of your project, of the user journey, maybe the user product, and then try to fine tune from there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like, uh dirty job per se, but just, the nitty-gritty and like be the face and also the shiller. You're basically shilling the heck out of your project to everyone. To your mom, to your dad, you're all in on this project. So that's how a lot of successful founders are succeed, because they are shamelessly, plugging their project everywhere. So thank you, Jason, for that takeaway. Anyone else have questions that you guys want to ask? Jason, anyone? Also, you guys feel free to reach out to Jason and also Chris here, through uh, through Discord. Their username is linked in here, and you can reach them through chat. Okay, I see someone's typing. We'll give it another what's moment of the tipping point of your project? Someone asked, what's the moment of a tipping point of your project? Like, where did you see it becoming, I guess, like, really grow from that, 500 to 100K to like a million user? Is that what you mean, Hua? Jason?
This question is for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tipping point of our project, let's say, if you're talking about the project that we have built, maybe I will share the case of Expect. So uh okay, so our tipping point was like, so we actually launched Expect project the same time last year, November 30th. So and then the first action that we did to acquire the first wave of users is just you actually write a tweet introducing our project, and we have the introducing video, just have the AI guy talking the project there, and then we booked some KOLs to basically run a campaign on this tweet. But then our tipping point was like, we see the number of view on this tweet just grew like crazily. So we got like 8.6 million views on this tweet, and not just the view of this tweet, but also the attraction of the project. So our user journey back in the time was like, so we are the play to earn game, right? So user will need to have their own have our token to buying start buying the assets in the game. But back in the time, we didn't do the TGE for the token yet. So the only way for you to get the token is that to go through the borrowing flow. So they will put in ETH, and they will get the our own token. And then along with the view of the tweet just growing exponentially, we also see the huge amount of ETH being flowed into the contract of the borrowing. So 500 ETH, 1000 ETH, 2000 ETH is just going crazily. So this is where we saw that, yeah, what we've been preparing, it's just like it's right. So just the really small effort of acquiring the users, and then the users will try out what we've been preparing, and they feel that it's good, they want to try out more. Then the users just grow from there quite effortlessly. So yeah, I guess if you ask the next question, if we can be able to replicate that, I think it's just really hard. So like it is kind of, we got some kind of stroke of luck there, and we're trying to replicate the same thing. But if you're asking the tipping point of the project, it's kind of random, and we normally don't prepare for that. We just try to prepare, the best before the project just launch. And if you did the right thing, that'll be the tipping point.
Yeah, I think a lot of preparation and then a little bit of luck, right? Um, that's how, one tweet goes super viral and then you get, a million users. So, that reach is really important, I think. Trying to reach as many people as possible. So that's why a lot of, one thing that we say to our builders is that build in the open and like really just promote your project and like show what you're building, step by step, even if it's not a finished product. Um you don't need to like build a full-fledged product for you to be able to promote it. So yeah, thank you, Jason, for your sharing, and also thank you, Chris, for sharing as well today. I think I'll wrap up our session today, and really look forward to talking to you guys for the next game jam workshop on Thursday. Thank you, Jason. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Kelly. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.